Hello everyone, welcome to this very special video that I decided to make because we have just hit 200 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Now, this doesn't seem like much, but actually I have never gotten to this number before on any other social media site. So I thought this would be a good time to explain a bit what it is that I'm doing, what it is that I plan to do, and answer some questions that I've been getting over the last few months. So, starting off, what is Two Games Joined? Because we have a lot of new faces here, and as such, maybe you just heard a few of my songs and don't really get where it's coming from. And actually, Two Games Joined is a very cohesive project. I got a set number of key elements that I try to include in my songs, in my albums, EPs. See, I am the only constant in this project. There are numerous people that fall in and fall out. I try to include many musicians from my circles of interest, mostly other musicians that are doing covers from video games and other nerdy things. For a moment, Two Games Joined was actually a free piece. Actually, that didn't really go away. It was just, for a moment, it felt natural to include two of my friends whom I've been working with over a while anyway, and felt like the right thing to do for Ballistic Bunny, for Beyond. However, right now, one of my folks just kind of felt like doing long distance projects wasn't really up his alley. We're still friends though, so no worries. If I had the possibility to meet up with Luigi for doing a new track, I would do that. It's just that we literally live almost a whole country apart. It's hundreds of miles, so obviously it's out of the question for now. And the other's just super busy, but as I'm making this video right now, he's gonna do a part on a new song, which I think is very cool, because the last time we worked together was on the song This Is No Place for an Empire, which was like 2 years ago or more. Okay, so what is the main idea behind Two Games Joined? As you can see, it is a project that is based on nerd culture and on music from that culture. Music from video games, from TV series, other things like, for example, Homestack. I made 2 songs based on Homestack, which are kind of old, but anyway. A lot of what you will find on the internet of cover music is stuff that is very chill or relaxing. Also, there's a lot of heavy music, yeah, metal covers, rock covers, but these, on the other hand, are usually about being badass, about feeling good and awesome and really rocking it. And Two Games Joined those, neither of those. It's actually focused on feeling kind of crappy, really. It's all those negative feelings that can build up from, well, being a nerd. And I get why it's not common to do that. I get that nerd culture comes in large part from escapism, and that's great, because that works for me too. That's why I use that to speak about where that escapism comes from. Like, what is it that happens that makes us kind of hide in our hobbies, in our little things like video games, cartoons, TV shows, movies. And also I use the themes of that kind to further analyze the works themselves. For example, take a song like the song Center Hue, where I take the character of Drossia, the main boss of the game, and I analyze her. I kind of make her the main character of the song, see from her perspective how it is that she is that main big enemy, how did she get where she is right now, and give the song that feeling that came with this setting. And there wasn't anything like that on the internet. I tried, I looked. I found a lot of interesting music projects, bands about video games, about cartoons, really great stuff, but I never found anything like this. So I decided to fill in that niche. Thought, hey, maybe this is my thing. I mean, I started off by essentially copying some of my favorite artists, and these artists include, but are of course not limited to, Linkin Park, Nine Inch Nails, Korn, Deftones, Filter, Prodigy. So you get the general idea, right? Angry, aggressive electronic music, but also mixed with guitars and other analog elements. And what I also include in this is the general contemporary music song structure. See, the songs that I'm covering are soundtracks, right? So these are normally instrumental. They don't really follow that construction of verses and choruses, and I decided that maybe I can find a middle ground between those sounds that create a soundscape for whatever is happening in a game or in a show, and turn that into construction of a song. And as you can see, it's been going on for a while. The first official release was in 2014. Actually, the first songs that were called with the Two Games Joint moniker came out about in 2009, so that will be over 10 years from now. Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. But it's only recently that I've been catching some traction, thanks to you guys. Like I said, never had this many viewers, subscribers on any other place I've tried to get attention on. And it's not like I am actively trying to do that. I just do my own thing. Which is precisely why I'm so happy that this is working out. Because I get that this isn't a very obvious choice. I get that this isn't the kind of music that normally you search for when you want to hear your favorite songs from your favorite things done by somebody else. And now we're coming to the point where I wanted to answer a question that I've been getting a lot on YouTube comments recently, and that is under the song Megalovania. Yeah, the hit song from Undertale and also Homestuck. Actually, one thing I would like to add is that when I approached the idea of covering a song from Undertale for a Pixel Mixers compilation, because I knew I wanted to cover something from Undertale, but also my first thought was I don't want to cover what everybody else does. I wanted to take some of the lesser known tracks. I was actually first thinking of Your Favorite Nightmare, but as I continued thinking and writing things, I realized that what I'm most drawn to was the character of Chara, and so it was actually natural to take Megalovania and make it my own thing. And since there were so many covers, like really, you write Undertale Megalovania into the search box and you get thousands of results. There's videos where people play all of them at once, and it's like this cannonade of talents of really great covers. I love many of them. So I knew I had to do it very differently. And what was the key element, what caused it to be so different, was exactly what I said earlier that it is I do, which is I turned it into a song. I gave it lyrics, I gave it my voice, and with that, I gave it the narration from the point of view of Chara. So, as you can guess, I really didn't expect people to ask for an instrumental version over and over and over again. It's not like I don't want to do this. Actually, I would really love to do that because this is my first actual request for a song. So my first thought was, okay, that's weird because that's the opposite of what I was trying to do, how to impress people, but okay, that's fine. However, there is a reason why I haven't done that yet, why there isn't an instrumental version yet, and that is no, this is really technical, but it looks like this. When I put the song together to make it sound good, because I have been working alone for a while, I've been mixing stuff on my own ever since I joined Pixel Mixers. And as you can hear, the overall quality of the mixes has declined a bit as I'm still learning, but I like to think that I learn fast. And so to make these songs sound acceptable, I take a few detours. When I mixed Megalovania, I used vocals as a key element of how everything is amped. So when vocals kick in, numerous things in the mix, numerous instruments react to that. So it's not like I can just mute the vocal tracks and make an MP3 out of that. It's a lot of work. And again, I would do that, except I'm actually not too happy with how the entire single turned out, because the Megalovania song is accompanied by a maxi single, something that's sort of a callback to the 90s when the record labels were trying to churn out as much music as possible to make some extra cash. Now, that's not the reason why I did that, but there was always a lot of fun I had with collecting singles back when it was difficult to get MP3s of your favorite songs. And so it was very interesting, at least for me, to discover these different versions of songs or B-sides that didn't land on albums. And especially my favorite part was when I discovered bands that really loved remixes, and so I learned to love them too. This is why there's a remix version of Beyond and of Shadows. I just like taking a song and trying what else I can do with it to make it still sound interesting, both as the original version and as the new version, have them different, not really one trying to be better than the other, just different looks at the single thing. And so the Megalovania single was born. It's actually the longest 2 games joint release that I have ever done. And from a structural, from a creative point of view, I really like what I made there. But from a technical view, not really. I tried so hard to make this mix sound good, but on the new songs, on Looking for Karma, on the Metallica cover Invisible Kid, you can really hear how hard I was trying to make it sound right, but didn't have the knowledge and tools yet to do that. I make every single song on this here laptop, using this gear, exactly what you can see here. Nothing professional. So far, I was totally okay with that, alright? But right now, as I'm looking back on Megalovania and I wanna do that instrumental, I realize that if I'm gonna take so much time to work on that, then I could just as well take that and remaster that to actually sound professional. And I really would just go to a professional sound studio and let them do the job. Just take my money, do it. Except I don't have that money. Okay, in personal life, I'm a teacher, and it's very satisfying. I love being a teacher, but especially in these times when we're all locked up in homes, I have a hard time doing that and doing music and getting anything out of it. So it would be great, awesome actually, if you guys could help me get to that higher level, to get a more professional sound. Because if I didn't have to worry so much about making it sound good, sitting hours upon hours perfecting the mix, I could just focus on the arrangements, composition and recording, which is also many hours, then I could give you so much more content. Instrumentals, yes, but also more songs, more sources. I have so many ideas for taking things from various video games, TV shows, movies, and various other things from all around the world. You have no idea. And so far, I've been trying to do that with Bandcamp. And now I realize that in the year 2020, it's not the way to do that, right? I mean, who even buys music on its own anyway nowadays? I mean, I get there's some people, there were some purchases. I'm very grateful to those of you who did that, because I know there are some of you out there, right? Yeah, but I realized that it's not the right thing to do, especially when what I do is covers. It's not right to just ask for a price like that. And so I decided that I am gonna take a completely different approach from now on. And first thing first, the stuff that was paid on Bandcamp, which means Shadows, More Acid Pours From Within, and the soundtrack to the indie game Inner Monsters that I worked on. These releases are now all free, right? Great. Okay. So these are free. So this is completely the opposite of what I just said, right? So now what I would like to focus on is Patreon and Ko-fi, the things that are made for fan support to make the projects going. If you guys could at least take a look, see what you can get from that, because especially on Patreon, I have set up these tires and they are really thought out, right? These are things I am totally ready to do, and I think that would be the excellent way to keep the project going. Another question that pops up from time to time is if Two Games Joint will be available on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal and other streaming services, and to that I have the same answer. Right now I can't really afford that, so with Patreon and Ko-fi I could collect that money to pay for the licensing fees for cover music to make it available for streaming. If any of you are interested, I mean you guys watching this right now are probably like, oh, he's talking about money. I didn't come here to listen about money. I want music. And I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna keep on making music because that's the only thing that I know how to do right. And believe me, I've tried stopping once. I had a moment where I felt like all art is doing is taking me away from putting my life together. Except I could never just do that. I always come back to this. So it's not that. It's just that I work on a laptop. It's a few years old by now. I had studio monitors, but they were stolen actually. So now I use an old hi-fi set. Normally I mix on headphones and this is very limiting actually. So anyway, I want you guys to feel that I'm not sleeping on your money, that I'm putting effort into it to make it sound better, to make more songs. I think that's why Patreon is great for that, because and that way when I get constant support, I'm the type of person who always feels like they have to earn what they get, the attention, interest, all that stuff. And so if I had that constant support, I would also have to constantly give something back. So that would mean regular new stuff. So since we're talking about making new stuff, I think now would be a great moment to finally reveal the next project that I'm working on. So the next thing, the next 2 games joint release will be based on Metroid Fusion. My favorite Metroid. It's a game that made me a fan. When I played it back in 2003, I think that was 2003, fresh when Game Boy Advance was still a big thing. My neighborhood friend had bought it and I was coming to him day by day, actually evening by evening, to sit there in the dark with the first Game Boy Advance model with the small headlight accessory and playing this game. It scared the crap out of us. Only after that did I start looking into the series. That was also around the same time that I got my internet connection. I realized only then that yeah, I actually had played Metroid 1 and 2 before. It's just that they didn't stay in my memory so hard. I needed that kick to dig up the memory that yeah, I had played them. But Metroid Fusion, boy, that stuck with me. Now maybe if I did get to play Super Metroid before that, maybe that would make a more lasting impression on me. But because it didn't, or maybe because I just think that Metroid Fusion is a great game with great pacing, story, and the atmosphere. God, the atmosphere. That thing is absolutely awesome. At the time I was also hugely into the Alien and Predator movies, and that hit exactly the same spot. That feeling of being overrun by these absolutely inconquerable alien things. That's a feeling that I'm actually trying to dig up and make the foundation of this new release. It's gonna be short. I haven't decided yet, somewhere between 4 to 6 songs, so an EP. I didn't plan for that, but actually it ended up reaching that final stage of creation in the moment where we're all feeling isolated, scared, helpless. These are the feelings that I think this game also displays greatly, and since I wanted to grasp them with my covers, I feel like this might resonate with people now really hard. Again, I didn't plan for that. It's just that things turned out this way. Moreover, I've decided to cover songs from the most solemn moment in the game. Those of you who played Metroid Fusion perhaps remember the most cursed of all the sectors on the space station that the game is taking place on, Sector 5. That's gonna be the title of the EP, Sector 5. I'm gonna take that song and a bunch of others surrounding it, and I'm gonna use them. I've actually done that in the recording phase. I'm gonna use them to give you some really goddamn scary songs. This is also where 2 Games Joint is entering phase 3. The various 2 Games Joint releases are marked with a level system. It's kind of inspired by what Depeche Mode and Nine Inch Nails do, except in their case it's for collecting. So when you're collecting their CDs or vinyls, you know that you haven't missed a single one. And obviously I barely have anything physical. In fact, I only have a few Beyond CDs that were printed out. Still have a few in stock if you're interested. But mostly I use this system to differentiate between the various stages that I'm going through. When I released Ballistic Bunny with my friends, we started off easy. So the songs there are still very much like the original versions. It's actually meant to sound like a soundtrack to a remake. But as you can see, further on, we were trying different things. I was trying different things, and I got more and more personal with each song that got on the internet. So Shadows was the beginning of phase 2, and with phase 2 I started bringing in more real world stuff into the songs. For example, you got the song Lava Shelter, which is kind of about Shadow the Hedgehog and what he's going through in his own game, where the song is coming from. But also it's a song that was actually deeply personal, emotional to me. So with phase 3, I am rooting the themes and the lyrics and the overall approach of the songs more and more into the real world, so that it can resonate with the people who have played this game and now years later are listening to the covers. But also, if you happen to play this game just now, and if you didn't, do it. And in that case, I hope that it will also resonate very strongly with you. And of course, there will be more in that phase. This is one of the 2 EPs that I have hinted on earlier on social media when I was talking about making 2 EPs back to back, one themed cold and one themed hot. So this is obviously the cold one. The other one, I'm not giving that away just yet. Let me finish this thing first. And judging from where I am with it right now, I think it's only a matter of 2, maybe 3 months. It's also a matter of whether or not I will manage to get to recording it professionally and getting it mixed and mastered professionally with your help. So again, if I could ask for your help with that, we could make that phase 3 even better and go forward even more compared to what I released earlier. There's more stuff coming along too. I'm in the process of finishing a second song for a new Pixel Mixers compilation. This one is gonna be themed around the Nintendo 64 Zelda games. I have no idea when this will be released, but I'm just doing my thing, finishing up the second song, and when they're out, they're out. And also, I hope you will enjoy them. These are very different takes on two different games, and I experimented a lot with them. And also, if you haven't heard, just recently I made my debut on Overclocked Remix, not as the main author, but I do a rap verse on a cover from the Terranigma JRPG. Terranigma is a lesser known action JRPG from SNES. Loved it when I played it. One of few games that really shook me up emotionally. So again, if you don't know it, play it. But also I wanted to say that it was very interesting when Jorito was looking for someone to just rap like a 90s wannabe rapper. So obviously I took that because, as you can tell from my music, I really love the 90s and their aesthetics, even though normally I do very serious takes on music from video games and stuff. So I really had fun with that. Just wrote a rap verse and then delivered it in the most cheesy way possible. Not the first time that I'm featured just doing rap on a song. A few years back I did the rapping parts on a cover of Crawling by Linkin Park by a project that I'm friends with, Luna Ray, which I also would like to take the moment to interest you guys in. Really good synth pop, synth core kind of stuff. I don't even know what that is, but man, do I love what Luna's doing. So that's that. And lastly, there's gonna be more remixes. One of them, surprise, is gonna be Luna Ray. I got a stamp file from the newest album, Insomniacs in Love. Again, not trying to make it sound better than the original song, just give it an original look. There's a theme behind it, but I'm not gonna spoil it away just yet. And I have a few other stamps, some from my friends and some very popular music that I just found out that are available to tamper with, and of course I had to give it a try. Yeah, one more thing. I'm gonna put music under this video so it doesn't feel bland, and the music that I'm using for this video is actually a little project that I was doing back in October. If you're familiar with the idea of Inktober, then you're probably gonna know what's going on. There's this initiative where throughout the whole October you make a drawing every day with a theme that's provided by the official Inktober prompt list, or actually any prompt list that you like. Well, I took that official prompt list and used that not to make images, but to make songs with the same gist that I only work on one for a few hours a day. These are just these little ideas that I had each day throughout October. It's kind of a panorama of my moods throughout that month. I haven't finished it. I got like day 16. I will finish that at some point because I think that this is gonna work great as a sort of portfolio on how I can make these soundscapes, these very soundtrack sounding things on such a short notice. Metroid Fusion comes first, then probably that other EP. Maybe I'll finish this on the next upcoming October. Oh yeah, and in case I do, I'm obviously not gonna give it the working title of Beatober, because yes, that's a working title. I'm thinking of the title Full Quota. Let me know if you like it or not. If you're interested, I think they should be available on SoundCloud for a download. These are these are provided through a Creative Commons license, since they're so simple and raw. But if you would like to use them as a background for anything that you do, go ahead. Sure. Just if you can, please let people know somewhere who made these, okay? I give you free stuff, you give me free attention. Works both ways. This is fine by me. This is all I'm asking for in this case. So again, if I caught your interest, be sure that you check out the 2 Games Joint Patreon, or visit Ko-fi, or just if you're not a subscriber. Yeah, God, doing this. Okay, I'll try to do it with the most straight face possible. So, if you're not a subscriber yet, how about give a subscribe now? Let's get that to 300, 400, hell, maybe 1,000. Anyway, that's it for now. Let's also take the opportunity of me doing this video, and if you have any additional questions, then just ask in the comments below, and I will look through all of that. I always look through all of your comments, just sometimes either forget to write something or straight up just don't know, like, hey, that was great, okay, thanks. I'm awkward like that. And speaking of awkward, I have no idea how to end this video. So, okay. Hope I'll get more opportunities to connect with you guys. Let you know that I'm really pouring my heart into this and really care about people resonating with 2 Games Joined. Right, so thanks for watching. Have a good time. Bye. Z której strony w ogóle jest obiektyw? Gdzie ja patrzę? O, okej. To jest ta kropka, tak myślę, że to jest taka kropka chyba.
Kochanie, z tej strony tu.
Tak. No mówię kropka.
Czy mam ci wskazać?
Dobrze, okej, jest okej. Jest okej. So far I was... Oops. It is envelope, yes, very good.
O nie, o nie.
Magic. Ale przynajmniej...